You just got your asses whipped by a bunch of goddamn nerds. Nerds!
Welcome to the Nerds Podcast. It seems that after 100 episodes, they got someone famous to join their podcast, so they asked me to come. Well, they didn't ask me. I took care of Pooba. He's no longer an equation. He's at home washing his tights. But we're here, and we're going to talk about the best Daredevil Born Again episode, which is mine. It shows me in my glorious artwork here in episode 6. And I'm glad that I am able to talk to you guys after 100 subscribers to the Nerds Podcast. Like, subscribe. You might see me again. Here we are, episode 6. And I'm going to start off with Pete. Pete, we got a swordsman kind of in the BB report. So stupid, this BB report. But I love the fact that you're able to tell me about the swordsman, Duquesne. What a crappy hero.
I'm all for the crossovers. Going back to our last episode, and I was on my soapbox at the end of that episode about Ms. Marvel, which my beef was that it seemed forced. This one didn't seem forced. It was like 5 seconds tops of, like you said, the BB report. But yeah, I'm okay with it. Again, it wasn't too much time, and it didn't seem forced like last episode. But I got no problem with it.
Cole, this question goes for you. My artwork's all over the place, but I actually got to my masterpiece when you first saw it with the person's eyes gouged out. And I loved it! It was my greatest work! Tell me what you think so far about my artwork.
Man, let me tell you, your artwork has been flawless. It's been absolutely making a change and putting a beauty into this city. You are an extremely interesting character. I saw a few of your artworks. I ended up catching, I like the one that you did with Kingpin where you split him and you have him as the mayor and then you have him as the mobster. I thought that was beautiful. I noticed that you ended up doing a larger portion of that same one, so I'm pretty sure you're a fan of it yourself. You really like that one. Another one that I caught was mobility. I was trying to figure out what you was trying to do there with the Statue of Liberty, but I do like that you took the word mobility and highlighted mob, and you're going against Kingpin. To clear up, I see that a lot of your muse or your artwork is going towards Kingpin, not knowing if, because Kingpin is the mayor of New York City, being a public figure, or he did something personal to you, not really sure. But yeah, I do see dollar signs in there, so I feel like your artwork is actually giving me a message, is sending out something to me that I need to be aware of. Your most impressive work was definitely the one behind the building where you had Wilson Fisk, the mayor of New York City, kissing the Wall Street bull, and you put some profanity under there with the money signs and all. I mean, what a work of art, shall I say. To find out in this episode that there's human blood. When sanitation tried to clean it up, they couldn't. And now you're taking bloods from the victims. Again, you're a very interesting character. Your artwork looks great in the city, and I see you trying to send out a message, but the blood, man, I don't know about that.
My paint mix is hot, so let's leave it at that. Pete, Mayor Fisk receives a visit from a very, very interesting Luca who thinks that Kingpin is over and done with. Talk to me how you felt the fact that he was able to walk out alive?
Well, he's trying to see if what he can get away with. He's seeing he wants to see if, or he thinks he's not going to do nothing to me. He's the mayor. He can't. He especially not in his office. That's basically what I saw from that. The fact that he was able to just to get in there, like his advisor said, uninvited, was kind of weird to me. But he got in there, talked some shit, and we'll we'll see how that comes. Let's just say that we'll see how that comes back to bite that guy, because it's going to.
Are you going to enjoy his death?
No, I don't. He's not a main character. It's not going to move the needle for me. But let me say, if I may, I want to piggyback off of what Cole said about the character Muse. Very complex character. I don't know who created this character, but man, it is an amazing creation of a character. His background, his abilities, and or his actions, as far as how, taking blood from his victims to do his paintings. I will say my favorite one is the tribute to White Tiger.
I love me some vigilantes. I love them. I love them. I love them. I love them.
But I will let you get back to, you hijacked our show. But so did you, after Daredevil whooped your ass, did you come straight here to host our show?
He got lucky. He got lucky. I got sucker punched. It was a setup. I got sucker punched. And
those are my questions. Carry on.
I got sucker punched. But I want to stick to that little annoying girl, little Angela, showing up at Matt Murdock's lawyer office. Cole, do you think that she sparked what Daredevil finally coming out of his closet? Do you think she sparked it up for him? Or was it something else?
I think it was a plethora of things. It's not only that. It's seeing the people that you're trying to save as Matt Murdock and not put on the suit constantly get the low end of the stick. It's everything. Everything's going around with Matt Murdock trying to keep a promise. He was going to give up being that vigilante and trying to do the right thing, doing it by his best friend that got murdered in episode 1, Foggy. That little girl right there, was just one of many, many, many things that happened to Matt. If you notice throughout the series, it's so cool that he's constantly holding that one piece. That one horn is always by his side. If anyone knows symbolically, if you're holding something like that, you're fighting it. You're trying to figure out, should I go to this or should I not? What should I do? You're in a path where you don't know where to go. It was cool because in this episode, when the mother called asking for the girl, Matt still insisted on just being Matt Murdock and not Daredevil and call 911. So he ends up thinking about it. And to your point, that might have been the needle that broke the camel's back. But I feel it was just a whole buildup, not just her, but everything that's been going on with Matt. When he said, screw this, man, I geeked out like no other. I was so hyped. That part right there had me super hyped. And then to see him running through the rooftops in his uniform, finally, this is what I've been waiting for. So, no, she was just a part of it.
I think my getup is better than his. So let me ask you, Pete. When Cherry finally brought him a whiskey and told him 60 deaths. Was that the spark that made address this?
No. I know the whiskey is, I guess, what you're getting at is kind of a link to Foggy.
He's a drunk. And what I'm saying is Matt Murdock is a drunk. Has no taste for art.
No, I'll go back to your. I think the last straw or the final push was her getting her being down there, her mother calling, and her looking to see what was going on in the subway, and then when he tried to call 911, it didn't feel right, and that's when he just said, "Screw it, I'm gonna handle it myself." That to me that was the because again he went to call the cops. He wasn't trying to get involved, and it wasn't going to happen the way I'm sure he didn't see that it was going to come out the way that he wanted it to. So took it into his own hands.
Oh, great. I like my hands. The way I draw is way better. Cool. You're first now seeing Fisk meeting with the vigilante team, which is the reason for the triggered mural. Just want to put it out there. Watch my mural. The messages are there. But tell me, what did you think about seeing that nice blue-eyed guy who is so sexy, so beautiful? I can't wait to gut him and use him as paint. But tell me what you thought about the vigilante team.
I thought Wilson Fisk is done. He's had enough. Just like the buildup that I was talking about with Matt Murdock, I think Wilson Fisk had enough buildup as well. He's going to therapy. He's trying to figure out his relationship. Things are not working out. He has to go through certain protocols in order to make things move within the city. The city's not caring for him. He's had enough of this. It was cool because that, again, Kingpin in this series is a different Kingpin to what I'm used to. When he started going insane and started laughing. He completely turned everyone off while they're talking about, talking about you, Muse, and how he's trying to find out you're the one that ended up pushing Kingpin to make this task force because you wear a mask. And he doesn't care what you're doing for the city, but he does care if you wear a mask or not. And Kingpin had enough of this. And when he started laughing, that time I didn't laugh with him. That time I was like, oh my gosh, he is going to do something very calculated, very brutal, because that's the Kingpin I know, what Wilson Fisk is. He's trying his best to teeter within not being a mobster, but having to do mobster things and being a mayor and upholding the office of the city. Himself came up with this idea of getting this task force. I think is brilliant because it's the best way for him to push back. And it was all your fault, Muse. Thank you for that.
Some things need to happen. Now we have a two-parter. We have simultaneous Daredevil coming out of the closet all of a sudden. And then you also have Fisk. And they both seem to find their way to who they really are outside of the artwork that I do, the beautiful, beautiful artwork. And now I'm going to go to Cole again on this one. Tell me what you saw when I got sucker punched. I was in the middle of draining little Angela, and this guy comes running down the train station because, unfortunately, her uncle, Puerto Rican, was out there searching for me for months. Couldn't find me. But Daredevil, who knows Angela's heartbeat, looked for her throughout the city. That's cheating. It's cheating. But tell me, once you saw Daredevil running down the tracks to sucker punch me, what'd you think?
Man, let me tell you, I've been waiting since episode 1 for a fight scene like this. Now, last episode, episode 5, had some good fight scenes for sure. But this right here is what I was waiting for. First of all, I'm very amused. I see that you have hands. So, yeah, absolutely. You can
I would
hold
have had
your
him.
own.
I would have had him. He would have been dead to rights.
You could definitely hold your own. So, holy smokes, to go up against Matt, and you're lucky Matt is a little rusty. But going up against Daredevil had to be a task within itself. Something I've been waiting for a while. What I thought was cool, and again, I really liked this episode a lot, was there's a part where Muse, you're about to stab her to get her blood, to start pumping her blood.
Artwork is more important than Daredevil.
I thought that Daredevil was going to stop you there, but he didn't. And when you stabbed her in the leg to get the blood, I'm like, how far is this going to go? Because they can't kill her off. This was in my mind. So when I see the hero come to save the day, I thought it was brilliant. I spoke about this prior, about the fight scenes with the choreographers that they hired to do this show. Props to them. Once again, just great chemistry and collaboration between the actors and the stuntmen. I love when Daredevil throws out the Daredevil scream. He did it twice already. Once as Murdoch in the room with the cops when he slammed the cop on his neck and he was like, "Raw!" But there was a part where Daredevil comes in and does a front kick and knocks you down, and then he goes, "Raw!" Man, did I get so hyped. Could see that part over and over again. I love when Daredevil did that. But overall, you're lucky. You're lucky that this time around, in the first episode, he's listening to Foggy's heartbeat and didn't get to him in time to save him. Because of that, Daredevil did not choke you out in this episode to make sure that he saves that little girl that he came to save. And you got away, but I don't think you're going too far because now you're under his radar. Get it? Radar?
Daredevil's feet stink. When he kicked me in the face, I smelled it. It stunk. Pete, same kind of back and forth for your Mayor Fisk, who gave an axe just to make odds even. Take me to what you saw in that scene.
Okay, so first question, is that your blood from your ass whooping on your mask, or is that somebody else's blood?
It's other people's blood. I don't bleed so easily.
Yeah, Fisk said, "Yo, here, if you can kill me, you earned your freedom. But you know what? You put your hands on my wife, even though, it's not all his fault. Let's be real about it. Vanessa had something to do.
He's a crybaby.
Vanessa had something to do with it too. But love is gonna blind us, and Fisk is blinded by that love. So regardless, you put your hands on my wife. Had you locked up here like a freaking parrot in a cage, here's an axe. If you can connect, you can go free." And Kingpin, they displayed his strength again, and they've showed it a couple of times, especially in the Netflix series. And he showed it here. Headbutts, threw him all over the place. And then after he whooped his ass, he just sat right down. He sat down on the cot in the cell and just was marinating this ass whooping that he just handed out to this dude who put his hands on his wife. Like you said, the two parallels, Daredevil coming out of his shell, Kingpin coming out of his shell simultaneously, and let's see what happens going forward.
I'll ask you guys both this question. Were you okay with me escaping? You guys can
I'll
answer this
jump on
question.
that. Yeah, absolutely. I think a quick beatdown would have threw me off a little bit. I mean, even though this show can hold its own weight for like all the characters that are playing in the show. So if he did get to arrest you and Bullseye comes out, I don't know, But for you escaping, absolutely. Nah, I'm definitely fine with it. But you are gonna get your day. What do you think, Pete?
Hmm. Was I okay with you escaping? Not really, because come on. But you live to fight another day. I better be ready next time. You got a taste. You better be ready next time, Muse.
I'm ready. Let's go. Now, what do you think we're going to see more of moving forward? Are we going to see more Kingpin or more Daredevil? And again, the question is for both of you.
So I'll jump on this one first. This is I know the title is Daredevil Born Again, but this has just as much to do with the Kingpin as much as Daredevil. So yeah, we'll see an equal amount of both going forward.
I think I'm okay with it as well because Kingpin is such a great character. For him to be side by side with Daredevil and seeing their two stories go together, I love it. Think about it. Kingpin was involved with Echo. Like, I don't even know if there's a comic book with Echo and Kingpin in it, but they had them two together, and I don't mind following Wilson Fisk. I think he has a right to have his story told as well. And the way they're doing it with the two, it's brilliant. If you ask me, I actually love it. I think it's gonna be even Steven right down the pipe.
I think they should change the show from Daredevil Born Again to Muse's Art. That's just my opinion. Thank you so much for joining the worst episode ever of the Nerds Podcast. But I think that we're now getting into the weeds of what this show is really about. It's halftime now, and I'm the halftime show. So I'm glad to be here. So from Pete, Cole, the kid at heart, and all the dead people that I've took out the blood, I want to thank you for enjoying my art. That is all I have for you nerds. Have a good day.
Get out of here, Muse. Get out. We will return.
The worst episode ever.